anywhere. This has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Bronca, by the stone! I barely recognized you.
Ogren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Ogren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Enrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. Then what is your involvement in this? Why would a surfacer be interested in dwarven politics? You must have a patron. A highly placed patron. And they must want something in particular. Now, what might that be? I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very dark spawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. 1,000 Balins could die and history wouldn't notice. I'm looking for the one thing that will return our days of glory. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caradon himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the Anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caradon's maze, and out to where the Anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon. Has Caradon's trap. There's no way to put through except trial and error. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespeth. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed. She swore she'd do whatever it took to find the Anvil. There was no other choice. Most of them were dying of the taint already. But some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh, dark spawn to test the traps. They could still serve me, let me find the Anvil. It was the only way.
My name is Karadin. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Karadin, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The anvil of the void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. The Darkspawn were pressing in. Originally, I only took volunteers, the bravest of souls, willing to trade their very lives for the chance to defend their homeland. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies, all of them were to be given to the Anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes. I, trapped forever in my own creation, a fitting punishment, I suppose. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the Anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the Anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Bronca, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with darkspawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Karadin? Good. That seems right.
Have you no desire to discover this anvil's potential? It is a marvel, a tool of creation. You could rival the Maker himself with this instrument. If you destroy the anvil, I swear you will regret it. You would not dare. I would rather not find out. Fine. Destroy it if it pleases you.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caradin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! My friend! You must help me! I cannot stop her alone!
Enemies approaching! Have you no concern for your own existence?
Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Caradin?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shell. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it.
Yes, excellent idea. Just destroy it now, after all this.
Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden? For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. That would please me, human.
But where will you go? You don't mean to...
I do. I live to ensure that the anvil was never used again. Now it never shall be. We all must have an end, Shell. May yours be one of your own choosing. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in all Tumsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
Shall be done.
No. Perhaps it thinks I should. It may have something to do with Caradon's words. If there is some way to make a copy of these runes, I am willing to study them. Perhaps there is something to be gleaned from them, I know not.
Names. Long-listed dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Norzimar, I bet they'd brown their trousers. And pay good gold for it. Probably both. Well, that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshirs have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Caradon was trapped in the body of a golem. This Warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Caradon forged a crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
I would like to believe Ogren's word, but it's well known the Grey Warden is Balin's hireling.
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Ortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Caradon choose?
At last, this farce is ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Qwinn.
Do you acknowledge acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a paragon. The throne is yours, King Balin.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him! I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden. You have my gratitude for all you have done for me. Proven yourself and more, Warden. Without your aid, I would not have taken this throne so smoothly or so soon. His name need not pass your lips again. My generals are already preparing for a mission to the surface. When you have need of us, you shall have every able-bodied dwarf in Orzammar. Since you did more than I expected, I offer a personal reward as well. This was a mall favored by my brother Qwinn. Take it with you, as a reminder of your ties to Orzammar. Now, I have much to do. If there is nothing else... Good luck, Warden. May we both crush our enemies.
More enemies ahead. Witnesses. Get them.
What's going on? By the ancestors.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
Well, I was thinking, we've come to know each other fairly well during our time in the Deep Roads. You're bloody fearsome for a human, and I'm a warrior without a house to defend. Wandering about killing Darkspawn with a sodding Grey Warden sounds like just the thing to keep me occupied. So what do you say? More than that. It'll cost me my house to take a trip like this. But I don't have a bleeding house to begin with, so who cares? I'm better off up there with you than down here where the sodding children laugh at me. And glad I am to hear it. You won't regret it. Now, do any of these sad sacks following you around know the first thing about making ale? Never mind. You can stop with the glaring. I'll ask him myself.
Legends put to rest. Incredible. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest, impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly. Nay, our place is down here. When you break the Blight, and you've got the skill, we'll make sure they have nowhere to retreat. You'll have us indirectly. That's more than any surfacer can say. You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the Assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? What's this? A list of names. Most of these clans no longer even exist. Is this authentic?
You bet your hairy arse it is. Taken from a tablet in Caridin's fortress, no less.
Then is it true? The rumors of Caridin's so-called volunteers? Extraordinary! I would love to make a copy of this. The Shaperate has never had much information on Caridin and his golems, much less proof of this magnitude. Warden, I hope this artifact from our archives will suffice as a reward. I must inform the Shaperate at once.
My name's Orta. After the old Orton house, they gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Orton money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me. And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the Tig is still there, it must have something. House Orton will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official?
I see what sort of company you've taken up.
What is a good enough reason?
For which?
It's said that my reason for learning more of shape-changing was not good enough. What reason would be?
I do not know. Tell me what it is and I shall decide.
It could simply decide any reason was insufficient then.
You find that maddening, do you?
It has a bird-like nature to its sadism, I'll give it that.
Good. Let us leave it that way.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck? Oh, my poor boy. I guess I knew, but I just wish I could have seen him one last time. Here, this is my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I don't have anyone to save it for anymore. I'd like you to have it, for what you risked to bring me this news.
I have a question for you, dwarf.
Oh, sounds like you're passing a stone there. Get it? Passing a stone?
I do get it, yes. My question is this. Had the Anvil of the Void not been destroyed, does it believe the dwarves would have used it?
You mean to create more golems? Oh, yes. Faster than you could squish a nug.
Even knowing the agony that it caused, they would still inflict it on others?
No need to inflict it. There'd be plenty ready and willing to sign up, just as you did. There's fewer and fewer of us each year, and the Darkspawn never run out. If it meant saving Orzammar, there'd be plenty who'd become a golem, sure.
Does it think it was wrong to destroy the Anvil, then?
No. Sometimes people need to be kept from doing stupid things, even for good reasons.
It is referring to its former wife?
I think some statues should sod off and ask their sodded questions to someone else. Give me a moment. Of course everything's all right. Just give me one sodding moment. By the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there. Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you. He's probably just hungry. Oh, he's snuffling me. Snuffle, snuffle. Thank you so much. You've made my day.
What have you there? A mirror? It is... Just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. I have never received a gift. Not one that did not also come with a price attached. Perhaps there is a price to pay yet, hmm? If so, 'tis deserved. Thank you. Truly.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. I am not a dwarf. Or at least, I'm not a dwarf any longer. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. There is another way. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is. Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
There you are. Wanted to talk to you. You and I, you know how sometimes you spend time with people and things. What? Keep your hands where I can see them. Sheesh. Can a man address a friend without getting all weird? I was just asking a favor. You had to go all that on me. I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. A girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously. What? Oh, you mean where we were rutting? Oh, aye. After Bronca left for the deep roads. Name's Felsi. She was a fiery one. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living. Last I heard, she was gonna live with her mother on the surface, near some lake. Clean Bad Lake, was it? Yeah, I sod it, I don't remember. No, I think it was Clean Bad. I remember because I thought, yeah, that's right. Dirty good, clean bad. Yeah. But thanks for offering to take us there. You're a good friend, Warden. Now, what was it you wanted to say? Aye, all right then.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you? I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Leliana is a remarkable girl, sincere and guileless, and she has opened her heart to you. I would not like to see her hurt. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
What say you? By all means. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. Well, it was just the one mage. Not as simple a mission as the vagrant Grey Warden or two, perhaps. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning. Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. Like being spared by a benevolent mark who then helps me escape from the Crows? Yes, it does seem to happen now and again, doesn't it? It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see. And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
How did a child survive that? The crater is still smoking. It's a boy. 5 fingers, 5 toes. That's all that matters to me. The Maker has answered our prayers. Let's go home, Marta, and raise the Tyke as our own.
That is a most offensive odor.
And you're looking at me?
Should I be looking elsewhere? Have you forgotten about the fish you stored in your backpack, perhaps?
I was saving it. Won't be ready for the lie for at least another day.
Even the Chastened did not have such disgusting habits, and they consumed the flesh of the dead.
Fine, fine. I'll soak it in the lie now. Have it your way, Miss Squeamish.
That's not what I... no, never mind. Just get it over with, quickly.
I'm gonna go talk to her. Look, you gotta back me up here. Got it? Thanks, Warden. Just be ready to pry her off when she throws herself at me. We don't want to make a scene here. Well, don't pry her off me too soon. I mean, a little scene's all right. Are you sure you're not a baker? 'Cause you got a sodding nice set of buns.
Akron, is that you?
Yeah, in the flesh, baby.
What are you doing here?
Just trying to kick back with a pint. Fighting Darkspawn's a lot of sodding work, you know?
You're fighting Darkspawn?
It was a bit of pain, but it was a personal favor for the King of Orzammar, you understand?
The whole surface to choose from, and you just happened to come to my tavern?
What? Oh, right. It's fate, Felsi. What can I say?
Fate? The ancestors must have a sense of humor then.
Sure they do. You've had a good look at Lady Helmy, haven't you? If her face isn't a joke the ancestors are playing, I'm a Bronto's behind.
So, Lady Helmy must be a paragon of beauty then.
I've been thinking about you, Felsi.
What do you want, Oghren?
Nothing. Just thought I'd see how you were doing is all. Well, maybe that and grease up the Bronto, if you know what I mean.
Well, you've seen me. You'll have to go back to Orzammar for the Bronto. Wait, you're leaving? You just got here. I haven't called you a shaft rat yet.
Well, you can't keep the archdemon waiting. You hurt its feelings, it might just turn the whole blight around and go home. Nobody wants that.
Well, you don't need to fight it right now, do you? I mean, you could have a pint first. You could call me a surly Bronto. I could tell you that you smell like nug droppings.
I'll tell you what, I got some things I gotta do, but I'll come back for that pint when things are settled, you frigid deep stalker.
Fine, but you better not keep me waiting, you worthless copper-plated swordcast.
Wouldn't dream of it.
No, I can't believe this, I won't!
So you can turn into animals, aye? Like cats and wolves?
When the desire strikes me.
Have you ever, win into winter?
That's a most curious little mind you have, dwarf. And what if I had? Would that thought comfort you during your lonely nights?
Have you ever changed during?
Why are you suddenly asking me this?
How do we know you're truly a woman? Or even a human? You could be a chipmouse or a nug. Imagine that.
Why, yes. I am actually a nug in human form. I have come to observe your kind.
Nugs are good with extra sauce. I'm just saying.
Welcome back, youngster. Looking to go across to the tower? Gregor came by, said I could have Lissy back. He seemed sad and tired. Off we go then.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the Circle is well on its way to recovery. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered. I cannot deny anyone, dwarf or human, the chance to learn. Knowledge should not be withheld from those who seek it. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
Oh, it's you! You saved the Circle. I'd kiss your feet if you didn't look as though you'd kill me if I did that. You'll settle for a handshake, won't you? Maybe a kiss on the forehead, eh? Rogek? Well, he's a personal friend, and
Sometimes we, correspond. Did he, have anything for me? Yes, I'll take it off your hands right now. What about 50 sovereigns? That's a good price, no? You drive a hard bargain, friend. If I had children, they'd be starving. But I don't, so here's your gold. Out of curiosity, do you know why this lyrium took so long to get here? Dwarves and their politics. Always causing trouble. How is the situation now? I see. Well, I just wanted to know if I should expect another late delivery. Well, mages need lyrium for spells and things. Nothing you'd know about. I suppose you did at that. Well, yes, but you see, the Templars use lyrium too. They cannot manipulate natural energies like mages can, but they need to be able to fight us. The big problem with lyrium is that it has diminishing returns, and the Templars become dependent on it. If it wasn't me and Rogek, someone else would do it. Those that know what I do have good reason not to get me in trouble. Goodbye, then. It's begun.
Very well. It is begun. I shall do it. Very well. Shall be done. It's begun. Shall be done. It is begun. Shall be done. Very well. begun.
As you like.
Oh, this is rather awkward, what? Not right at all.
Age lets his mind wander and you get that, huh? Yeah, well, on behalf of the dwarves, keep your magic. If you wanted to, witch, you know that? Yeah.
'Tis so.
Dwarves resist magic, woman. There's nothing you could do.
Nothing. I could not, for instance, kick you in your manhood.
Oh.
Do you wish to see?
Not necessary.
Well, the offer stands.
I still got it. Weren't you watching? She could barely restrain herself. Might as well rest up while I can. You ready to go? Aye, all right then.
So, here is a question for the Painted Elf.
Painted Elf? Oh, that's me. Oh, I do like that.
Am I to understand correctly that the Painted Elf is a crow?
Not literally, but yes, I am a crow.
As in a bird.
Is there another sort?
So the Painted Elf assaults helpless statuary with its feces.
If given sufficient cause, why not?
That is outrageous. The Painted Elf will stay away from me, or else.
I get a lot of that. For you, Shale, how does it feel to be a giant statue?
What a bizarre question. How else would it feel?
Well, let's see. Does it hurt? Do you feel like you've been buried under a pile of rock? Or do you feel nothing at all?
I have nothing to compare it to. How does it feel to be considered an inferior race when compared to others who are just as soft and weak as you?
Fine.
How very fragile it must be. One touch and its kind crumples, spilling liquid everywhere. No wonder they clad themselves in metal.
It takes more than just a touch, I'm sure.
I feel very solid and immortal. No putrid liquids to squirt out of me. Oh, no.
Now that you mention it, I suddenly rather feel like a delicate mushroom.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. Ancestors, bless you! I can't believe it! There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since your Relden in the 13th century! I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition? Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Well, if it isn't my new best friend. You make it to the tower yet? Excellent. I must say I wasn't sure I'd see you back here. Now, that was 10 sovereigns we agreed to, right? Right. Just testing. If you weren't paying attention, I know you didn't need the coin, right?
What do you think of that new King Balin, huh?
Just like any other noble. Wouldn't take the time to spit on the likes of us.
His woman's castless, though, or was. That Rika, remember her? Barat's favorite from way back. And word on the street is he's got no qualms about recruiting brands for his troops. During the Blight, he's going to use whatever Orzamar's got. I could get behind that.
So you're the one who killed Jarvia. Do you know what you've done? Jarvia was no paragon, but she looked after her own. Even the nobles wouldn't cross her. If you think we're gonna let you waltz around like you own the place, you're wrong. For Jarvia, attack!
More enemies ahead.
Now we get out. Orzammar may have a new king, but that don't keep the drunks from their ale. How can I help you? Well, grab any of my maids if you want a drink.
You do still intend to kill your target, do you not? Is your reputation not on the line?
Are you still on about this woman?
I am led to believe that the crows would never permit such a transgression. They will come after you and enforce.
It has come to my attention that the crows are not always successful when pit against the Grey Wardens and their companions.
Perhaps they will send someone competent next time.
You wound me.
I have considered doing far more than that, trust me.